Hey guys, Dustin here, CEO of 6threezero. Today we're gonna have women from 5 foot to 6 foot be sized, fitted, and adjusted to the ride in the park. So this is gonna be applicable to all speeds of the ride in the park, the 3-speed, 7-speed, and 21-speed. And we're gonna show you how they fit or don't fit on this bike. So stay tuned, and here we go with our 5-foot woman. Before we jump into showing you how we adjust our riders, I wanted to explain how we measure for arm length and inseam. So let me show you how we do this. So Sydney, if you could put your arm up and put it nice and straight. So we basically from the top of the shoulder, we put the tape measure there, and we measure to where the wrist basically connects to your hand, like the end of the wrist. We're gonna pop up an image right after this too, which will kind of show you. So in this case, we're going to put it top of her shoulder, measure to the wrist. It's 21 inches. Now for the inseam, you're going to stick the tape measure right inside your leg to the highest point of where your leg attaches to your body, or your hip, more or less, or in your body. So if you want to stick the tape measure in there, and then you measure down to the ankle. So she's going to hold that. I'm going to bring it down basically right to where your ankle pops out, and that's 28 inches. So, obviously, it's not an exact science when you're measuring yourself, but being generally speaking within the ballpark will be good enough for measuring for our types of bikes. Okay, we're here with Mariah. Mariah's 5 foot tall, and she's got a 27.5-inch inseam and 19-inch arms. And one thing I'll say about the ride in the park is it does come with a rear reflector that goes around the seat post. And I've taken it off for the purpose of the sizing video. Now, if you're gonna be riding at night, please make sure you do have a rear reflector or rear light, something of that nature. Generally speaking, if you're riding during the day, it's not imperative to have the rear reflector. I would advise it if you can, but for the sake of the sizing video, I've taken it off to give us as much leeway in the saddle. Now, in this case, actually in the ride in the park, the springs do hit the seat, so the minimum, the maximum you're gonna have the seat to go down is where it is now. So basically, on the ride in the park women's, you have to have the seat post at least 2 inches out of the frame. Now this is an interesting thing because it's going to really affect how we size bikes, who can fit, who can't fit. So I'll precurse this by saying Mariah and I both already know that she can't fit on here, but I do want to show you what it looks like when she gets on the bike. So she's 5 foot, so I'll hold it and just do the best you can to sit. Now you can basically see she can't even barely get her tippy toes touching the ground. So with that said, ride in the park for Mariah at 5 feet with her leg length of 27.5 inches, 19-inch arms is an absolute no-go. So if you want to hop off there safely. So there's not one adjustment I can do, no magic I can make. All I can say is the ride in the park is not ideal for someone 5 feet. Take a look at the Every Journey or the ATB or one of our other bikes. Check out those sizing videos and information. That might work for you. Let's move up to 5'1" and see how that fits her. Okay, I'm here with Alana. Alana's 5'1", has a 29-inch inseam and 19-inch arms. So we are going to see, we know that 5 foot didn't fit on this bike. Now we're going to introduce a little secret. I didn't for our 5 foot rider. We're going to try a different seat for Alana if this seat doesn't work. And actually this different seat I think would also work for our 5 foot rider. Unfortunately, we don't have it in that video, but we can see that changing the seat is going to give us about 2 more inches of clearance. So Alana, if you can try to hop on now. This is the seat that currently comes on the bike. Okay, so you can see for Alana at 5'1", with the standard seat, it's actually a no-go for her as well. So if you want to hop out. Okay, so what we've done is, now the reason the seat can't go down is because the springs are hitting the rack. So if we pop off the seat, and what I've done is taken the seat out of the Every Journey, and it has a different type of spring. This is an elastomer spring. So you can see it's much closer to the top of the seat. And so if we just go ahead and put this in, and I'm just going to probably clamp it down right about there, and that lets the seat go down a lot lower. Okay, it's still, I probably should have put it all the way down. So hop off really quick. We'll just show what it looks like. But you can see just changing the seat and getting that extra clearance works. So let's bring it down all the way, clamp it, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be a great fit for Alana. It is. So actually her feet are flat, so we should bring it up just a touch. So let's bring it up just a touch. Yeah, sorry about that. But we want to make sure we're getting the best possible riding position. Okay, let's try there. Let me see your foot. Put on the pedal. That looks good to me. She's up on the ball of her foot. Good leg extension. Now we can do a little bit something here with the handlebars. In terms of the height, I like the height. This is the max height we have on the handlebars right now. Let's just tilt them down a little bit. Go ahead and twist them down. You like that better? Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and tighten it. So you can see now she's like got a really good, comfortable arm position, really relaxed. Her back's upright, shoulders are back, her wrists are not kinked at all, and she has great leg extension. So again, if you're 5'1" or 5 foot, it'd be as simple as changing the seat to give you better clearance. If that's something you guys want to customize, please reach out and we can make sure to set up this bike to fit you if you're 5'2", 5'1", or 5 foot. So if you want to hop off, Alana, I'll show them the measurements. So on the stem, we've got the stem up 4.5 inches. And actually on the seat, we don't even have it down all the way for Alana. We've got it measuring from the seat clamp. We've got it at 1.5 inches up from the bottom. So there it is, Alana, 5'1", 29-inch inseam, 19-inch arm length. It's a fit with a different seat, not the standard seat. Same changes would be applicable to make it fit for someone 5 foot or 5'2". And please, let's watch as we move on to our 5'2" rider as well. I'm here with Madoka. She is 5'2", inseam of 29 inches, and arm length of 20 inches. And we've already tried to size her on this. It's definitely on the border of what's really acceptable. Why don't you hop on, Madoka, and we'll show everyone what it looks like. So you can see she's really up on her tippy toes. And then one thing I'll say too, she's got some pretty thick-soled shoes on today. Something to pay attention to also when you're riding, that there's probably going to be some variance in your fitting between wearing flip-flops or wearing gym shoes. So, you know, if you're out riding to the beach or something and you're in your flip-flops and then one day you're out wanting to get exercise and you're in some running shoes, you may need to make some slight adjustments on your bike depending on if you care or don't care, or if it's comfortable, totally up to you. So I would say, you know, looking at her, my advice would be, I think it's a little too big of a bike. However, if she's comfortable and she feels like she can stop and balance, then I would let her make that decision. I'd obviously say, you know, make sure you wear a helmet, stay off busy streets, things like that. But feels like a little too big to me. So one thing I'll say though, if she wanted to ride like this, just looking at it, what I would do is I would bring the handlebars up a little bit to get them a little bit closer to her body. Oops, I'll grab that, don't worry. If you could just hold those right there. Yep. Excuse me. Okay. So yeah, so that's going to be a little bit better. Gets it closer to her. And then I would also tilt them up a little bit. It's going to make it a little bit easier for her. Just a second. Okay, hold on there. Maybe just down a little bit. Right about there. So again, it's not bad. We've made some adjustments. Her arms get to the handlebars okay. If we didn't have the issue with the seat hitting the rack and we could drop the seat down about another inch, she'd be totally fine with this bike. It's really that rack inhibiting the seat. So another option would be is if you're 5'2" and below, you could probably find a seat that has a smaller spring, or in fact no springs like that, which is going to allow the seat to drop a little bit. Also, you can reach out to us and we could present some different options, because really what she really needs is about another inch on that seat, and we do have about an inch we could drop the seat post. So as it is now, it's kind of a toss-up whether it works or not, totally up to her. What I will do is give you guys some measurements, so if you want to hop off safely. We've got the stem raised up 4 inches, and we've got the seat, as I said, we haven't touched it. The seat post is raised up about 1 3/4 out of the seat tube. So there you have it. We're moving up to 5'3". I'm confident we're going to get a fit at 5'3". So let's see what we need to do to make it work. We're here with Amanda. Amanda's 5'3". I was confident we were going to get a fit. We're borderline 50-50 with Amanda at 5'3" too. Same situation with the seat. Amanda has 30-inch inseam, 22-inch arm length. Let's go ahead and show you how she fits on the bike. Okay, so we've got the seat. Again, the seat is set to 1 3/4 inch up on the seat tube. That's as low as we can get it because of the springs in the back. Now, she's also got some flats on today, so she's got really no sole on the bottom of her shoe. If she had a gym shoe on and it gave her a little bit more between her foot and the ground, I feel fairly confident that it's a great fit, but I would really leave it up to the comfort of the rider. If someone's not comfortable balancing like that up on your feet, please don't do it. If you can put your foot, so you can see on the pedal, her leg extension is pretty good. That's acceptable. I like that. It's not bad. It's going to be comfortable. You'll be able to get good extension and good riding. But again, when you stop, take your foot off for me again. She's pretty high up. So if you're on the fence, don't feel comfortable with balance, things like that, and you're 5'3", I would maybe suggest against this. Or, as I said before, we can change the saddle, and that'll give you a shorter spring, which will allow the seat to come down, and then we'd have a perfect fit for Amanda at 5'3". So where we're at now, go ahead and stay on. We'll look at the handlebar. So she's pretty stretched. So the difference is this is a little bit more, it's still an upright ride, but it's a little bit more aggressive of a ride than the cruisers, the ATBs, the women's cruiser, and the Every Journey. So her arms aren't going to be in a complete relaxed position. She's going to be kind of leaning forward, maybe just a touch, but still fairly upright. And her arms are going to be extended a little bit. So it doesn't look bad to me. I would say if we want to try to get her a little bit more comfortable, I'm going to bring the handlebars up just a little bit more. And again, all the handlebars have a line that you can't exceed, and we're pretty much right on it. So it's right about there. So that's as high as we can get with that guy. Go ahead and grab on. And then I'm going to bring the tilt down just a touch. Okay. There we go. Try that. Okay, maybe right about there. That's a lot better, I think. Yeah. So there we got a little bit more comfortable. We relaxed her arms a little bit, took some tension off her back, let her get a little more upright. So not bad. I can't give my 100% approval to 5'3" women, but I can say there's probably going to be a mixed bag of 5'3" women out there that this will work and doesn't work. Would this be comfortable for you, or do you feel a little too high?
Feels a little high for me, but it'd be up to them.
Yeah.
Too.
Yep.
Maybe with different shoes.
Yeah, there you go. So let's see. Let's move up to 5'4" and see what the fit's like. Okay, we're here with Stephanie. Stephanie's 5'4", 31-inch inseam, and 18-inch arm length. I know we're going to get a perfect fit at 5'4", so if you could step on, let's take a look. Okay, great. So we had the seat obviously set to the lowest it can go, which was 1 3/4 inches. and it actually looks like the seat's too low for her. So we're gonna raise it up just a little bit, get her feet up just a touch more, not too much because she's pretty close, but let's try right about there. Okay, go ahead and hop on. That looks pretty good. How's that feel? Okay?
Yeah, it feels good.
Okay, cool. And now her arms are stretching a little bit, not too bad. She's hunching forward, but she can stretch her arms out. So we've got the stem all the way up, so I'm actually going to try to just tilt these a little bit upward. If you can grab on, tilt them up just a touch. There you go. That might be too much. Maybe right about there. How's that feel? Okay?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. Okay, so there we have it. So you can see on the ride in the park, it's not quite as a relaxed riding position as every journey in ATB. You do have to have your arms a little more extended. Now, Stephanie actually has 18-inch arms, and in our spectrum today of women in this video, she actually has some of the shorter arm length, which is okay, but you can see it's interesting on the leg side, she's really good, and we had to raise the seat up, and on the arm side, it's a little bit of a stretch for her in terms of reaching the grip. So it's totally up to you. We can still keep her back in an upright position, but she's got to have her arms straight, not totally relaxed. Again, it depends on what you like and what you don't like. If she had maybe another 2 inches on her arms, they'd be a little bit more relaxed on this bike. Maybe another option like the Every Journey would be better if you're looking for complete comfort. But again, the ride in the park is comfort mixed with performance. You've got thinner tires, so different ride, different riding position, things like that. Okay, before we let Stephanie go, we're going to measure. So again, on the stem, we've got the stem at max height. It's 4.5 inches out of the head tube. And the seat, we've got the seat from the bottom of the seat clamp down to the seat cuff is just a tad under 3 inches. So 3 inches up for Stephanie at 5'4". Okay, now let's move up to 5'5". Okay, we're here with Jewel. She's 5'5". She has a 30-inch inseam and 19.5-inch arms. So let's go ahead and hop on, Jewel, and see what we can do to adjust the bike for your body. Okay, so again, we've had this happen with a lot of bikes as we've moved up in height. We've actually had to move seats down and things like that. So this is an okay fit. I would say for a recreational rider, maybe a little too high. So I think we're going to bring the seat down for Jewel compared to our 5'4" rider. So if you want to hop off, I'm just going to bring it down just barely, a little bit, just get a little bit more comfortable for you. Make you feel a little more safe. Okay, try that. Okay, I like that a little bit better. I mean, I could even bring it down more if we wanted to. Can you put your foot on the pedal and just take a look? So the bend in the leg is good. I'm going to leave the seat there. I think if you're comfortable with where your feet are in the ground, that looks good from a riding position. And then in terms of the arms, that looks pretty good to me as well. Again, Jewel's got 19.5-inch arms, which is kind of like in the average of where we've been, but on the shorter side of a lot of the heights today. So you can see her arms are stretched, but not too bad. She's not straining. Her back can still be upright and she can be comfortable. So I think that's a good fit. I'm not going to touch anything if it feels good to you. I think the tilt and everything is pretty good. Cool. So if you want to hop off, I'll measure and show everyone at home what we've got. So again, the stem max capacity hasn't moved, is at 4.5 inches coming out of the head tube, and the seat, which was actually adjusted down from our last rider, is just a touch over 2.5 inches. So again, we move up in height, but we may have to move down in seat height, things like that. So let's move up to 5'6" and see how we can adjust to fit that woman. Okay, we've got Jessica here. Jessica's 5'6". She's got 30.5-inch inseam, 19.5-inch arms. Let's see how we can adjust the ride in the park to fit you. Okay, so interesting. We've had this happen on other bikes before. So Jessica's 5'6", but it looks like the adjustment from our 5'5" rider is a little bit too high for her. So we're gonna bring the seat down a little bit. Handlebars look okay at first glance, so if you wanna hop off, let's bring it down. Bring it down, not too well. There we go. Let's try that. Go ahead and hop on. Okay, that looks a lot better to me. Let's see. So in terms of the seat, we've actually got, so that's actually as low as the seat can go. Now again, we have the springs and the back rack, so that's as low as the seat can go. So she's up on the pad of her feet. It's not too bad. It's probably, I wouldn't want it any more than that for it to be safe and good for her. How does it feel for you?
Feels comfortable.
Okay, good. But again, that's the lowest seat height. So we've been moving up. She's 5'6". With her leg length, she needs the seat all the way down. So in terms of the handlebars, I think what I may do, I think the height is pretty good. I might just tilt these down just a touch. Let's see, try that. Yeah, I like that. I mean, how does that feel?
Feels better.
Cool. So it just relaxes the wrists a little more. You can see she's got decent arm length, so she's got a little bend in there. She's not straining. Her back is upright. Actually seems like a really great fit for her body type. And remember, I mean, there's no perfect science. Again, I've said this before, it's an art, not a science. So if you're out riding, try different things. You could even bring a 6mm Allen key with you and try tweaking the handlebars. It may take a couple rides till you really find out what's the best position for you. And if you feel any pain, you know, if Jessica's riding and her wrists start to hurt or something, you could tilt the handlebars up, tilt them down, really find out what's best for your body. That's the great thing about our bikes, especially on the handlebars. You've got two adjustment points, the tilt and the height, things like that. So if you want to hop off, I'll give everyone the measurements on what we have adjusted for you. So the stem is at 4.5 inches. It's been the same actually for most of the riders. That's max height. And the seat being all the way down is at, well, actually, we've got it to about, 1 3/4 inches. So that's the lowest we can get that down. Again, if you can find a different seat, you can also take off the back rack. You can gain yourself a little bit on the adjustment back there. So let's move up to 5'7" and see how we can adjust to fit her. Okay, we're here with Liz. Liz is 5'7". She's got 32-inch inseam and 21.5-inch arms. So if you want to hop on, let's take a look. Okay, cool. So you can see from our 5'6" rider, she's got her feet way closer to the ground, almost flat. So I think we're going to pop the seat up a little bit, and at first glance, the handlebars could tilt up too. So if you want to hop off, probably just going to bring it up about 1/4 inch. All right, that might be too much, but try that and see what you think.
It's high.
Yeah, too high. Okay, let's bring that down. All right, try that. The great thing about the quick release is it's easy. You can adjust on the fly. Okay, that looks a lot better to me.
Yeah.
And she's up on the pad of her feet, which is great. So we're going to leave that alone. Can you put your foot on the pedal? Just show us what that looks like. Yeah, so she's got a pretty decent bend. We actually could get her legs straighter than that, but if that means she's not going to be comfortable with her foot on the ground, then we'll leave it there. Oh, the pedal's kind of high up, actually.
Yeah.
So that's okay. You can leave it. And then on the handlebars, it looks like her arms, I'm going to probably, we've got the handlebars up as high as they'll go. So I'm going to tilt them up just a touch, bring them a little bit closer to her body. Okay, grab onto there and see.
I feel like that.
You like that better?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. So, yeah, we've got her in an upright position. Her arms are, almost fully extended, which is okay, but they're pretty relaxed. She's in a good ergonomic position, and I like the adjustment. How's it feel for you?
Feels great.
Cool. So let's take some measurements on what we did here. If you want to hop off really quick. So we've got the stem. I've done this now, pretty much haven't touched it for most riders. It's at 4.5 inches max height. And we've got the seat from the bottom of the seat clamp, it's just about 2.25 inches. So with Liz's inseam and arm length, it's been interesting between our 5'3" and 5'7" riders. We've had a lot of fluctuating up and down on the seat, different handlebar adjustments, and a lot of it has depended on the inseam and the arm length. So again, these are adjustments that you guys can do easy at home, but it shows you that Liz at 5'7" definitely can fit the ride in the park and can get comfortable on it. Let's move up to 5'8". Okay, we've got Mackenzie here. Mackenzie's 5'8", and she's got an inseam of 32 inches and arm length of 22 inches. So we're getting into our taller segment of women, and we're going to show you how they all fit in size to this bike. So Mackenzie, if you could hop on. Okay, great. So actually looks like a pretty good fit to me. The seat seems to be at a good height. Does that feel okay to you?
Yeah.
And can you put your foot on the pedal? Yeah, so she's got a pretty good extension. It's borderlining on being maybe too much, but I like it. I think put your pad, yeah, there you go. Put that part of your foot. There you go. So now it's bent a little bit more. That's perfect. So you're going to be able to get good thrust like that. I'm going to leave that alone. In terms of the handlebars, she's got pretty good arm. It's really extended arms. You can see difference between some of our other bikes is cruisers are going to have a little bit more relaxed arm position. On this one, she's really got to have her arms out in front. One thing we could maybe do, we can try, is just tilt them down just a little bit for her and see if that does anything. Try that. Better, worse, different?
No, I like that.
Okay. So we just relaxed the arm a little bit from being out here. We brought it down, which brought the handlebars a little closer and relaxed her arm a little bit more, put a little more bend in it. So there we have a good fit at 5'8". If you want to hop off, I'll show everyone the adjustments and measurements. Again, seems like having the handlebars higher for most heights has worked well. I'm keeping it at the max, 4.5 inches. And then for the seat, it was the same as our 5'7" rider, but we'll go ahead and measure. And it is right about 2.25 inches. So Mackenzie, 5'8", 32-inch inseam, 22-inch arm length. We've got 2.25 inches on the seat, 4.5 inches up on the stem. Let's move up to 5'9" and see how we need to adjust for her. Okay, we're here with Sydney. Sydney's 5'9". She has a 31-inch inseam and 22-inch arm length. So we'll have her hop on and see how her adjustments differ from our woman at 5'8". Okay, hop on for us. Okay, so actually the seat height looks really good. Her leg is a pretty good bend. Yeah, I mean, she could maybe bring it up just a touch if she wanted to, but if not, looks pretty good. How's that feel?
It feels really good.
And then in terms of the handlebars, let's see. We can try some things. They're pretty. We could try to raise them up just a touch. See if that helps. Oops. Bring them up as high as they can go, which actually is right about there. That seems a little better. And then in terms of the tilt, I think that's pretty good. So let's check out her back. So we want to try to get her in that upright riding position. It looks like her back is. Arms are not, now the arms aren't going to be as relaxed as a position on the ride in the park as the around the block in every journey. But you can still see, she's got a little bend in the arm, which is good, and she's upright. So it looks good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to hop off. I'll take the measurements. So we've got the stem all the way up, and that is just about 4.5 inches. And on the seat, from the bottom of the seat clamp, we've got the seat raised 3.5 inches. All right, let's move on up to our 5'10" woman and see how her adjustments differ from Sydney. Okay, I'm here with Carly. Carly's 5'10", And Carly has 35-inch inseam and 23-inch arms. So out of all the women that will have size today on the ride in the park, she has some of the longer legs, even though she's not the tallest, being sized to fit this bike today. So hop on Carly and let's take a look and see how you fit. Okay, so you can see seat's definitely too low for her. Handlebars don't look too bad, but I think when we raise the seat up, we're gonna need to make some adjustments. So if you could hop off and let's pull the seat up. Okay, I don't know if that's too high. Give that a shot. Okay, actually, it's pretty good. I mean, how's that feel for you?
It's good.
Is it too high, maybe, or okay?
I don't know. Just the my heels are off the ground, but I think it's comfortable when I put my foot on the pedal.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. So if you put your foot back on the pedal for me really quick. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now, again, the seats do have a max height. There's a marking on the seat post. We're not there yet with Carly. We still have some leeway to go up or down, so that's good. And it looks like a good foot fit to me. If you put the ball of or the pad of your foot on, yeah, there you go. So that looks really good. In terms of the handlebars, I think what I'm going to do is tilt these up a little bit more because we do have the stem all the way up right now. So if we can tilt them up a little bit, I think we can bring them just a touch closer to your body for you. Bring them up. How about like that? Is that better, worse?
Yeah, that feels better.
There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you can see on the ride in the park versus Every Journeys, the arms are not quite as into the body. You're going to be extending a little bit more. The ride in the park is a little bit more geared for faster paced riding, things like that. So totally different riding position, but we still have her in an ergonomic upright position, arms straight, back straight. And I think she'll be comfortable. Don't forget, you can make adjustments on the fly, figure out what works for you. So if you want to hop off, I'll take some measurements and we'll show everyone. So Carly at 5'10", we've got the stem all the way up, 4.5 inches. We've got the seat post raised up 5.5 inches. So you can see Carly's actually in some of our other videos, the Every Journey and the Around the Block. You can see we had the seat raised higher on those bikes, but because of the different riding position here, we've got the seat up 5.5 inches. So really depends on the bike, really depends on the frame. How it's set up, things like that, based on the adjustments. So let's move on to 5'11" and see how we can fit the bike for her. Okay, we've got Kennedy here, and Kennedy is 5'11". She has an inseam of 34 inches and her arms are 23 inches long. So Kennedy, if you want to hop on, let's take a look what we need to fit for you. Okay, seat looks pretty good actually. Maybe could come up a touch, or how does it feel for you?
Yeah, just like a tad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try to bring it up just a little bit then. We still got room for the seat to be adjusted. So let's just bring it right about there. Okay, try hopping onto that. Okay. So we've got her up on her pads of her feet now. Looks good to me. Could you put your foot on the pedal for me? There we go. So that's a good leg extension. Not too cramped. She's going to be able to pedal, get enough power when she rides. And, you know, with the thinner tires in the ride of the park, she'll be able to pick up speed as she wants. In terms of the handlebars, I wish we could bring them up just a little bit because they're kind of low. The only thing we can really do is try to tilt them up a little bit more. Let's see if that does anything for you. Try that. Better, worse, different?
It's a little better. It's a little better.
Okay. So one thing I'll say is we're moving up in height at 5'11". As her body is becoming higher, the shoulders are moving up, and the stem can't come up with it. It is kind of, you know, forcing her to come down a little bit. So we tilted them up just a little bit to accommodate. We have the stem all the way up, so it can be sized for her, but I would say maybe there are more bikes out there that are going to be more comfortable for her body type that are going to accommodate. There also could be some options in adding an extended length stem, which is going to allow the adjustment to come up. Unfortunately, this stem won't come any higher. I think if we could probably get the handlebars up to about here, it might relax the shoulders and pull you back just a little bit. So again, still fits, still works. I would say for Kennedy, there's probably another bike out there that's going to be a better fit, but again, for the ride in the park, it's not quite as a relaxed riding position as a cruiser, so it still works. But let's go ahead and take the measurements so we can at least show everybody what we have on the seat, because the seat is actually a good fit. Where I think we really need the adjustment is here. So we have the stem at max height, which is 4.5 inches. And then we've got the seat post raised up 6 inches on the seat post for Kennedy. Again, she's got 34-inch inseam, 23-inch arm length, 5'11". So let's move up to 6 feet and see, maybe with different leg length and arm length, if it'll work for someone 6 feet versus 5'11". Okay, we've got Isabel here. Isabel is 6 feet tall, and she's got a 32.5-inch inseam and 22-inch arms. So we're going to get her on the ride in the park and see how we can adjust it for her. Okay, so on the feet, I'm going to bring it down just a touch to get her a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more safe. So again, we're bringing it down from where it was for our 5'11" woman, which again has a lot to do with inseam and different body types, torsos, things like that. Okay, I like that a little bit better. You're still up on the pads of your feet, which is great for this type of riding. Now, the one thing I'll say is her shoulders are so far away from the handlebars that she's really having to stretch, and she may have to actually lean forward a little bit to really get there comfortably. Yeah, so basically the bike can be sized to her. The one thing I don't like is that she's having to bring her shoulders, kind of roll them forward a little bit to get to the handlebars, forcing her to strain. This was the same situation we ran into with our 5'11" rider. Same suggestion I'll make is we could do an extended length stem because we really need to get the handlebars up here for her. Basically another 3-4 inches to make it comfortable for her. That is an option. If you want to reach out, we can customize. We can do extended length stems. That'll help make the bike a better fit for you. We have Isabel in other videos, the Around the Block and the Every Journey. And on those bikes, they seem to be a little bit better fit for her body type in terms of getting her in a comfortable riding position. But if you could just put your foot on the pedal, you can see on the leg side and the pedaling side, it looks good to go. She's getting the leg extension she needs. The seat can go up ample height. I don't think we have a real problem there. I think where we could really just try to diet a little bit more for her would be on the handlebar side to relax the upper body. All things we can customize and work out, and it still does work for her. It's just not going to keep her in a completely upright comfort position. But if that's not something that's really important to you and the performance is more important, then actually the lean forward that she has going on is okay. Because typically in performance bikes, you are leaning them more forward, gets you in a more aggressive riding position, allows you to just get your body into it more and get the bike moving faster. So if you want to hop off really quick, I'll show everyone the measurements that we've done. So we've got the stem. We've kept the stem basically at the same height for most of the riders, between 5'3" and 6 feet. It's at 4.5 inches. On the seat post side, we've got it at about 5.5 inches. So 5.5 inches on the seat post. So again, Isabel at 6 foot. She's a fit, but there could be better ways to customize for her. So you guys can also reach out to us if you're 6 feet tall, and we can discuss how we can make the ride in the park best fit you. Okay guys, thanks for watching. So you've seen women 5 feet to 6 feet fit or not fit on the ride in the park. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to us. We can definitely do some customizations and things to find bikes that fit your body type. So if you do have questions, please reach out. The team at sixthreezero.com or call us 310-982-2877. Also on our website, we have the Body Fit Quiz. You can enter your height and weight. You can also answer questions about the type of riding you're going to be doing, and the quiz will help select a bike for you. Don't forget, we also have a lifetime warranty. For $19.99, we will warranty your bike for life, so you can make sure you don't have to worry about anything going wrong. And lastly, we have a test ride your bike for 365-day policy. If you own your bike for 365 days and you hate it, you can send it back from any point at the 365-day mark or before, free shipping both ways, because we just want to make sure at 630 that you love your bike.